Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Doctor Sleep. This movie is directed by Mike Flanagan, who previously directed Oculus, Ouija, Origin of Evil, and Hush. This movie stars Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson, and Kylie Curran. Doctor Sleep is a sequel of sorts to The Shining. The only connector is Danny Torrance, who was the boy from The Shining, all grown up, and now he's played by Ewan McGregor. And there is a cult out there led by Rose the Hat, played by Rebecca Ferguson. And these people steal the shine from individuals, especially children, because they're easy targets. And so Danny discovers Abra, this young girl that's very powerful with the shine, and he learns that this cult is going after her, so he takes it upon himself to protect her. Going into Doctor Sleep, all I knew was that the movie would be based on a book of the same name that was a supposed sequel to the classic movie The Shining. I really didn't know what to expect, and I really wasn't looking forward to the movie because I thought, like many sequels, this movie was going to try to replicate the original. It was going to try to imitate things that made the original work so well. Well, having seen Doctor Sleep, I can say that I left the theater with a big old smile on my face. And I can honestly say this movie is a worthy sequel to The Shining. Mike Flanagan gives us a movie that does have elements of The Shining. And it does have some locations from The Shining. It even has some very well done shots emulating The Shining. But don't go into this movie expecting it to be a horror movie like that, because it's not. This movie is more of a thriller. It has some hard to watch, and you could say horrific elements in it. But don't base this movie off of whether or not you like The Shining, because yes, they're connected, but they're two different movies. This is a thriller, and it's character driven. You're introduced to different characters, but also you're given insight as to which parts these characters are going to play. So let me start with the acting in this movie. Ewan McGregor really disappears into this role, because a lot of times when Ewan McGregor takes on a role where he has an English, American accent, or you don't expect him to be in a movie of whichever type or genre, whether it's The Impossible, this, Birds of Prey, I always have that fear that I'm going to see him as Ewan McGregor or as Obi-Wan. But I forget he's a really good actor. And he disappears in this role. Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat, the leader of this cult called the Knot, I believe. They're pretty sinister. They're almost like vampires, because you know that when one of them shows up, others will follow, and bad things tend to happen. Rebecca Ferguson's really good in this role. I was actually more impressed with her in this type of role than I was with her in Life, Mission Impossible, The Greatest Showman. Here, I'd say she's seductive, but not in like a sexy way. But also her look distinguishes her from other roles she's been in. And she plays a really good villain. Kylie Curran as Abra, the young girl that Danny Torrance has to go after. She did a really good job. To me, kid actors can make or break your film, and I think she did a very good job on this. Almost as good as like Haley Steinfeld in True Grit, where you have this no-name actress who comes along and just blows everybody away. This movie had some good acting in it, and not just from the main cast. You have actors like Cliff Curtis, Carl Lumley, and Bruce Greenwood, and a couple others. They blend into this movie. They're not one of those small actor roles where you're like, oh, that's so-and-so. Okay, that's going to distract me and take me out of the movie. It doesn't do that. There was another actor in this that I didn't expect to see. And considering how young he is, let's just say that he played the part very well, and it's one of the most memorable scenes in this movie. Yes, there may not be any "here's Johnny" or "Wendy, darling, love of my life" type moments, but it does pay tribute and have moments of its own that are memorable. This movie explores the ability that is the shine. Something that was briefly touched on in the original movie, The Shining. This explores that. It shows you what certain people can do, what they can accomplish with that, which is nice because it took something from an original movie and it explored it. and broadened upon it in the sequel, which is what you should expect from a sequel. So because the acting in this movie was really good, it was well paced, it was memorable, and it was a worthy sequel without emulating the original. So because of that, I'm going to give Dr. Sleep an A. So until next time, guys, see ya.